Hey everybody, my name is Chloe. Welcome back to my channel. I know I look crazy right now, but I really just didn't want to forget to film this intro because I lost the last one. But today is November 27th, and I said I was gonna wait until December to start editing my first novel, but I don't know, I just got into the mood today. Like, I'm done with my homework, I have my hair oil in, that's why I look so crazy right now, and I'm about to take a shower, and it's gonna rain this afternoon, so I want to write. So what I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start editing my first chapter, so come along. So I'm trying to figure out how I want to approach this editing, because when I edit for Fiverr, people just send me a Google Doc and I comment and I type things in, and I don't know if I want to do that or if I want to put it on my iPad and physically write it out, or write things in the margins, because then it looks kind of cool and I can see how it looks. Yeah, I think I'm just convinced myself. I think I'm gonna do that. So I think because I wrote it in single space on Google Doc, I'm gonna make a copy, double space it to give myself room to type, and I'm gonna send it to my iPad, and we'll see how that goes. So you guys probably know this already, but I am crazy, and I love to give myself deadlines and organize myself. So these are my goals for when I want to have the chapter edited by, and these next 2 weeks up until December 15th are actually really crazy for me, so I'm actually not sure if I'm going to be able to get chapter 1 edited by then, but I'm going to do my best, so hopefully I can get a lot of work done today, maybe, possibly. Alright, so I have exported it and put on my iPad. I think I'm going to highlight things in green, obviously, that I want to keep, that I really like, because that I feel is a really motivating factor for me. And then stuff in red, obviously, just, oh, hello? There we go, sorry, that needs to be rewritten. That's fairly obvious, and then obviously I'm just gonna write notes in. But then also, oh, oops. Sorry, I don't know what's going on with lighting. But yeah, so I think also as I find things in my draft, I'm going to just take notes about it. For example, I was thinking about starting this today, and last night I was kind of realizing, after also I was watching some writing vlogs, I really kind of don't know my male main character's motivation for what he does. I know my female main character's motivation, and I think that itself also needs a little bit of work, but the guy kind of does not have any motivation. So as soon as I introduce myself to, or I introduce the kind of main conflict of the story, I'm gonna have to write down, figure out, why is this, I don't know why my phone keeps going in and out of focus. Anyways, but yeah, I am, oh, please ignore that nasty hair. Anyways, but I am gonna have to figure out what his whole deal is. Why is my phone doing this? This is so funny to me, but I was starting to take notes, and I was let me just number my paragraphs so I can write down what paragraph there's I need to look at. And this is exactly how I edited things in high school. This is how I was taught to edit essays in high school. I mean, I guess I'm happy that it applies to real world, but I literally never thought I would be doing this. And that's so funny. I didn't even realize until I numbered every single one. I was like, this feels familiar. I really do look like an egg with my hair pulled back. Anyways, so it's 30 minutes since I last recorded that little time lapse, and I'm still on the first page of this chapter, and this is probably the shortest chapter I have, my intro chapter. Anyways, so this is gonna take me, I think, a little bit longer than I thought it would. But when I was a kid, I've already said this, I wrote fan fiction as a kid, okay? I liked to go back and edit my chapters, but when I did that, I realized I kind of just edited the grammar, fixed sentence structure. I think that's kind of how I do a lot of my editing, especially on academic papers, because I have what I want to say, I just need to say it better. And I think for the first time I'm going through and being this idea needs to be developed more, change this, where's the reasoning for this, and it's a lot more in depth. And I think in one of my writing vlogs I made the comment about how somebody I watch on YouTube mentioned not looking at her first draft as she wrote her second draft. And I remember thinking that was weird because I was why would I not want to use what I wrote? But I'm now realizing my second draft is going to be a lot different than my first draft. It's not just going to be grammar and stuff like that. It's going to be full ideas being changed, and this is actually kind of a lot. I'm glad I have winter break to sit down and work on it, or at least start getting in the groove of working on it, because yeah, this is just a bigger endeavor than I thought it would be, essentially. So this might look like a lot, but it is a note I wrote about paragraph 2. And essentially, I'm now adding in another sort of side plot, or just a side story that kind of explains the better reasoning for why my main character has the motivation she does. And I really didn't think about it earlier about their motivation, so I'm glad I'm doing that now, but I really need to figure out where I'm going to work this into, but I'm happy that I figured this out. Alright, so it's only 3 p.m., but because it's winter in Boston, the sun is already going down, and it doesn't really help, it's raining, but this is the last time I think I'm going to check in today. I'm only halfway through chapter 1, but I kind of have a new game plan. So I'm going to go through this first draft, kind of do a second draft rewrite, and then I'm hoping my third draft can just be me, looking at those grammar and sentence structure things that I mentioned in the last kind of just me talking to the camera video that I recorded. Because right now I'm kind of cleaning up my ideas and the actual story itself, and then hopefully after I do that, it's a comprehensive story and I won't have to do a third rewrite. That's my goal. Watch me eat those words. Bah! So this is what my first page looks like after about 30 minutes of editing. You guys know the drill. I am gonna blur this. But you can probably see that I have quite a bit of highlighting, but not enough to have taken me 30 minutes. It's probably because what you guys just saw, that basically I had to add in another kind of story to explain my character's motivation. So that took me a little bit of time to think up, but this is gonna take me a little longer than I thought it would, I think. So I said I wasn't going to record anymore, but I just finished reading the first chapter, and I think the first half of it can be salvaged a bit, but the last half, I think it's also because right before I started editing, I watched a YouTube video that was how to show, not tell. And this first chapter is so info dumpy, and I essentially introduce a family of 6, and that is just not needed. So she's gonna need some work. I also had the thought where I just kind of wanted to like see what people's like initial reactions would be to this story. So I was honestly secretly gonna upload it to Wattpad and just see if it got like any reads or anything and see like any comments people would leave. Do people still use Wattpad? That's something also I wanted to find out. Do you guys still use Wattpad? Sometimes I feel like I used to go on it like early in college just to like mess around, but now I don't. I don't know if it's like a feasible platform anymore. But anyways, but I'm very glad I did not do that. I think this writing, like rereading it, feels so far away from me. So that's good, because I think that means that I advanced, because it does not feel like my writing style in the last chapter. And I think that's good, because that means that like as like a writer I've grown, which is my goal. But that just means the beginning, because honestly like this was written in March of 2021 and it's November of 2022 now. So I've just been like scrolling up and down as I've been talking, because there's a lot of red and a lot of writing. I'll show you. I wonder if the blur is gonna still show this, but you can see all the red. But yeah, that's me rereading the first chapter, and now it's time to rewrite it. Recently, I've been obsessed with the Target sparkling waters. I know that's so weird, but they're so much better than LaCroix or Bubbly, and that's my random recommendation of the vlog. You guys know whenever I'm studying, writing, literally just existing, I need to have a fun drink with me. And that's what I'm drinking now. I'm drinking the yuzu mandarin one. Basically like the lemon orange. I'm about 50% of the way through editing the first chapter, and I have been like having the struggle where originally, I don't know if I mentioned this already, maybe I have. I originally had the thought that I wanted to like secretly upload my first chapter to like Wattpad. I think I actually have mentioned this. This feels familiar because I just like really want feedback. Just get a feel of how somebody else perceives my story. And rereading it, I'm so glad I did not do that. But now, like I said, I'm halfway through editing the first chapter, and I already feel like it's stronger than my first draft, which is the goal, obviously. But I've been thinking, should I find an editor or a beta reader just to read the first chapter and see if there's things that like pull them in, you know, because I'm kind of wondering, should I go through the effort of editing the rest of the story if the first chapter isn't good? You know what I mean? I don't know. I'm still debating it. I have run into something that is so annoying of me. Like I mentioned, I have those timelines, right? I have the major events like births, deaths, marriages one, and then the ones that like happen within the book. But I made that specifically so I wouldn't have any continuity errors. My main character is supposed to be 23 and one of her younger sisters is 19, right? Multiple times I mention how the sister is 3 years younger. The math does not line up on that. Basically, that's the easiest one I can describe to you, but there's multiple. That's not the only one. And I'm like, why did I go through the effort of making that? And it's so embarrassing that I literally like bragged about how organized I was with that timeline just for me to mess it up in the first chapter. Why did I do that? I'm embarrassed of myself. So as you saw in that last clip, I finished editing the first chapter, and the conclusion I've come to is that this thing needs a lot of work. That's just what it is. I've decided that I need to add in another plot line. So that's gonna be a little crazy. And then I think I'm gonna do another pass through, like a kind of grammatical edit. So I think there might be around 3 to 4 drafts of this. So it's gonna be a longer journey than I thought it'd be, but stick around. Like, comment, subscribe if you want to see where I go with my novel, and leave a comment. I really love reading all your comments and replying. That's my favorite part of posting videos. So, and I will see you next time.